today I am going to do a demo and review of the Paula Dorf Aztec City eye color palette. This is an eyeshadow palette with 5 different colors, all quite neutral with the exception of this iridescent blue-green color. The dark brown and light brown are both totally matte. The rest have some shimmer, with this color being the most shimmery. It has almost a tiny bit of micro silver glitter, but it's not that noticeable at all. The blue one is kind of a little bit of a duochrome, and then the white is the tiniest bit shimmery possible. So I've been using these for a while. I created this eye look with them, and if you want to see how to get that look, just keep watching, but I'll tell you what I think of the palette first. I have pretty high expectations for eyeshadow. I expect them to have the pigmentation that is like that of Lorac or Urban Decay, and sometimes it just doesn't deliver. So I don't feel that the Paula Dorf Aztec City palette is exceptionally pigmented. I did have to dip back into the color several times to build it to the intensity that I wanted. And usually if a shadow is a nice rich pigment, you really don't need to do that. You can, lay the color down, get a pretty good payoff, and then kind of soften it out. But yeah, so not super pigmented. I will do some swatches though and show you the ones that are better than others. So I'll go light to dark. The light color here, and yeah, I can tell it's really not even a bright white like it looks in the pan. I don't even know if you're gonna be able to see it, but that's what that looks like. The blue looks way more fun on my hand than it does on my face. I like the idea of this kind of almost lavender mauve shadow. It's very unique. I haven't seen a color like that one. This light brown I thought would be like world's best crease color when I saw it, and then you can barely see it on. I had to dip back into this one, especially a lot of times, just doing my first transition color. So that was kind of bummer city. And then the last one, this is the one that's like the misfit. It's really nice and dark pigmentation, and it's almost like a Lorac shadow. So, I mean, I think that this would be good if you are kind of afraid of eyeshadow, because sometimes with those Lorac shadows, you dip it in and you barely touch your eye and it's like, whoa, you've overwhelmed your eye with color. That won't happen with these. You'll be able to build these really, really gradually. So I would say it's a really nice palette for a beginner, because it's going to be very forgiving for you. So another item that was sent with that is the Paula Dorf Lash Color in Teal. So that is a teal mascara, and that probably sounds very weird, but I used it on my lower lashes only, and I think that is a much better way to use it. I did try it on my upper lashes, and I just felt like it just looked kind of weird. It just looked like I was wearing colored mascara. And I also didn't like it on my top lashes because, judging it as a mascara, it just wasn't very good. There's no nice way to say that. It didn't give me length at all, and really no volume. Just kind of put some color on there, and maybe that's why it's called Lash Color. It's Lash Color. That's it. Yeah, I like the packaging. The packaging's very nice. I like the long, slim shape of it. Yeah, I just wish it had more pigment, because they're really great colors in the pan. I just wish they came off that way on my face. So like I start every single look, always, forever in life, I am going to start with a matte, warm brown color in the crease. In this palette, that would be this color. These don't have names. This is just called the Aztec City Eye Color Palette. So I'm gonna grab a crease brush, load that up a little bit, and just put that in the crease of my eye, which has already been primed. Okay, now I'm going to grab what looks like a really, really light mauve color. It's got a hint of pink in it, almost a little bit of purple lavender tone, and a tiny bit of micro sparkle silver glitter. So it's very unique, but it does not look nearly as flashy as I just described it. the glitter really doesn't show up at all, and I'm just patting that all over with a large shadow brush. Okay, now I'm going to grab the darkest color in this palette, which is just this really nice espresso brown. So I'm grabbing a little bit on a dense, kind of domed crease brush. This is different than the first one I used. It's a lot more stiff, not as fanned out, which is great for what we're gonna do, which is really concentrate the shadow in the outer part of our eye. Okay, so I'm trying to do this as simple as possible with not a ton of brushes. So instead of grabbing a blending brush like I normally would, I'm gonna take the same brush, wipe it off with a tissue so that it's going to become our blending brush and not deposit any additional shadow. I'm gonna take that same brush and just start to soften this out. It helps to check your shadow placement with your eye open instead of doing the whole thing with your eye shut, because that's how people are going to see you, obviously. So make sure you stop a lot, look at yourself straight in the mirror and kind of check to see how far it comes up, if you like the shape of it, if it needs blended more, etc. Okay, speaking of blending, I'm going to grab our first crease brush again, and it's okay if this still has that light brown shadow on it, because we're just going to use it to soften out our top edge. Make sure there is a very nice gradient transition where the dark color brown meets the light color brown that we placed first. Okay, we are going to grab a small brush, little tiny brush like this, and dip back into that espresso brown color shadow, this one, and I'm going to drag it along the lower lash line. Don't get too much, and we are not trying to make this super dark, just kind of a soft little smoky line under there. Okay, taking that same little brush with the same dark brown shadow, I'm going to put some on just the very outer part of our upper lash line. Do not take it all the way over, you'll see why. Okay, now we are going to use the most adventurous color in this palette, this blue color right here. It's almost a iridescent, kind of greenish blue. And I did try a look that I did not film using this blue all over the lid, and it kind of reminded me of Mean Girls. I was thinking, stop trying to make blue eyeshadow happen. It's not going to happen. Neither is Fetch. So I'm not going to use blue eyeshadow in a large amount for any look, because it just does not look good on me. And so I'm going to take that little tiny brush that I cleaned off completely, grab a little bit of that crazy iridescent blue color, and what we are going to do is start where we stopped our dark brown line on the top lash line and bring it almost to the inner corner, but not all the way. You're just pressing it at the lash line. And what this is going to do is kind of place a highlight, draw people's eyes to the iris of your eye. The eye's in there. It is going to basically create a highlight for your iris. And I had to go over this line on this eye several times, really packing on this blue shadow. So just kind of build it in layers, pressing it on. Okay, because my goal was to use all 5 shadows in this palette somehow, all 5, I'm going to grab that last color we haven't used yet. It's just a white with a tiny bit of shimmer, but not a lot. It is a very minimally shimmery white. So I'm going to place that in our inner corner. This is just gonna create that, wide open, very awake effect. So place it in the inner corner and then tap just a little bit on the highest point of your brow bone. And we've kind of highlighted with the white. So we are actually going to use a Paula Dorf colored mascara for the bottom lashes only. And it looks a lot more teal, I think, on the wand than it does on your eyes. Ooh, one thing I want to show you because it's really hard to do your bottom lashes without getting mascara all over. So take a business card. This is from the Paw palette I just ordered. Tuck it under your bottom lashes and then just go to town. I am going to line the waterline with the Rimmel Scandaleyes Kohl pencil in Nude. I used to use the NYX Wonder pencil for lining this inner rim, and then my friend Sierra Danielle, hi Sierra, suggested that I try this one out, and she was right. It's way softer, so way better for lining your waterline. That looks really weird without top mascara. Like it looks like this. Alright, for our top lashes, I'm using a new mascara, Maybelline Lash Sensational. I bought this because a lot of people were saying how awesome it was and that it's going to replace their Benefits They're Real, which, as you know, is my favorite. So I was like, well, I have to check this out. I am picky. I don't like this. I think it clumps. I think it doesn't last very long. And I think that the side of the brush that's supposed to fan your lashes actually just dumps too much mascara on them, and then they stick together. And maybe I just shouldn't use the other side, because that's where I feel like things take a turn for the worse. Okay, so the eyes are all done. Please don't judge the mascara, because as I said, I don't even really like this. But I do like the really soft effect that we're able to create with those 5 colors. And I wanted to work the blue in there somehow, and I think I did find a way to make that kind of crazy color wearable. I don't think it's one I would wear every day, but it is kind of an unexpected little touch.